Welcome to today's video. We are now in the California desert. We left LA, took about an hour drive north, and we're heading to one of my favorite tracks. If you guys remember, I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago, one of my favorite events I've ever been to was a Super D event at Grange Circuit. Not like the craziest track, it's just another go-kart track, but there's really fast, fun entry. In the last event I went to, there were a lot of really good drivers. Again, today, obviously everyone on this trip's a really good driver. I imagine Luke's gonna be going ridiculously backwards on the entry. I'm excited to hopefully do some backies with this thing, and it's just a really, really good track, and technically being the last track that we're driving on this trip, I'm excited that it's Grange. This is one of the many infamous, treacherous roads that lead to Grange. It's like full-on rally mode. Last time I was on this road, I think in my S13, and it was a little bit brutal. Full disclaimer, I just remembered that I think they renamed it from Grange to Apple Valley Speedway, so it's the same place. I think this is where people were getting stuck last year, this mega berm. Look at this. It was so funny when we were going to Super D because everyone's got like stancy pants, like low S chassis and stuff, and seeing him trying to get through on the road. Alright, we're back on the helmet cam game. We're going to do our first laps at Grange. Get a feel for the track, figure out my pressures, then start doing some tandem. Gotta get some heat in the tires. Try a decent entry, see how she feels. See how backwards we can get. Hell yeah. Almost went a little bit too long. This track is gonna demolish the fronts. Running 70 PSI so it can slip is sick, but then like when we're cooling down through the track, there's so many like windy twists and stuff. My lower control arm moved again. This is another one of those tracks where the bumps will just annihilate stuff, so I'm gonna have to jack it up. I really want to put a tack on it so it stops moving around, but I don't think anyone has a welder here right now. Chelsea also paid me back for the last time we were at Grange. On entry, I backed it in a little bit. I think I phased him, and he gave me a little tip. All right, so my little fix, although this is kind of temporary and not the best overall solution, there's a little hole in the eccentric bolt that kind of just perfectly matched up with the gap in the subframe. So I'm putting this bolt in. Hopefully it'll be enough just to hold it a little more in place. So if I do get a jolt, it'll prevent it from sliding over. That way we have a little more than just friction holding it in place. Look, he's coming over here to make fun of what he did to me.
I just got him back for what he did. You can't even tell from the outside.
No, I could tell that when I went to put my quick fastener back on.
It did push the whole thing in.
I'm like, man, that didn't used to be like that. It's not my first time doing it.
No, this is the JTX 100 Ebisu trick. Because they don't sell basketballs over there.
Yeah.
There's very few Japanese basketball players.
Just hop in the trunk, get the best leverage you can.
We don't have live stat, bro.
Get out of the car, dog.
Holy fuck. Someone out there? He's got it now. The whole car's out. It's out. You got the code, right? Yeah.
All of us ran. We were like doing the dopest tandem, and I'm like, yo, he's on fire, we gotta go. If we would have had a big fire extinguishers here, we would have got it out. It was almost out when Luke got there. We had 4 extinguishers going on. If we would have had one big one, to f***ing boom, it would have
like
went out.
Fuel fires like that at my track, we'll go through 16 big ones.
Yeah, if you can get it out. Yeah.
As a car enthusiast, having a car burn to the ground or just a car fire in general is probably one of the worst feelings in the world.
Yeah, beyond the helplessness, obviously.
Yeah.
Like I was there and I was almost crying. Like it's not even my car, you know. Like my daughter was crying. It was her favorite car here.
Yeah.
It's just, and they're the nicest people. The nicest people. Like,
So they drive all the way from Idaho, right?
Idaho.
wild.
I've already told them they can take my car
And like
home. Like,
And that
I'm
car's
not even
been in the
bothered.
family, what, for like 20 years or something?
more. His dad used to race it like years and years and years ago. They sold it and then bought it back, and yeah, it's worst case. Like crashing's one thing, like, and you know things happen, but like to fuel fire and then the circumstances around this fire, like us not being able to put it out because there just simply wasn't firefighting equipment here, which as a track owner myself I'd never let happen. So you know it's nice to have a Wild West track, but not being able to put things out is just, it's the worst. We used all of our extinguishers.
Everyone
I
was
think
running
I
over.
ran quicker than you, I think.
I mean, we got the footage. We can watch it back.
We
if
have
you
to watch it back. I can be fast sometimes.
And it almost seemed like, you know, those 2 fire extinguishers, if we had 2 more
Dude,
at
we were
that,
so
right at that
close.
moment.
We were so
was
close,
right there.
so close. But it's a fuel fire. Like, all we needed was a couple of like real extinguishers. But the reason we're here, well, the reason Adam's got me over here as well is like Rudy, like they're just beautiful people. Honestly, they are beautiful people. Sorry about swearing. But yeah, we'd like to do something. We're gonna get a fundraiser set up. Leave link down in your description.
Yeah,
down there.
I think T said she's going to set up a GoFundMe or some sort of fundraiser so we can.
Yeah.
I think more or less just obviously something like that's irreplaceable, but at least to help them and get
them back on track.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing. It's not actually Rudy's car. It's
It was her car, right?
it's her car. Yeah,
She
that's
did.
her drift car.
Yeah.
Like, she's got no car, and she's so enthusiastic. She was so enthusiastic to get home and start driving more, and like this trip like was really getting excited to drive more, and it's just, oh yeah, look at them they're literally dragging the body of the car away. There is nothing.
But anyway, obviously there's a pretty large group of people here that all have like a lot of collective influence, so I'd like to think with everybody we'll be able to help them out quite substantially.
Yeah, a couple of bucks, anything, you know, and if it goes crazy, like, you know, we don't need it to go crazy, we just need enough to get them rolling again. So
And even if you guys don't have money to give or anything like that, if you just want to send some love, like his Instagram name is right here right now. I'm sure anything's appreciated. It's just rough, and like I completely agree that feeling of helplessness, even it not being our car,
100%.
just having to stand there and watch it burn to the ground.
I just sat there hugging him, and like the emotions that come over myself, let alone over him, like I broke my car just before it happened, and I was just like, what was I even being mad about? Like these guys, it just burned to the ground. Like every single one of us here is just, yeah, it's not the way we wanted to. We definitely didn't want anyone to end Drift Week like that. Like crashes, whatever. You know what I mean? Like if you smash your stuff, like whatever. But something super unfortunate, it's just sucky. Yep. Really sucky. Anything you can help with, guys. Don't go crazy. Don't push yourself to a limit or anything. But like I said, there's a lot of us. There's all of your followers, my followers, everybody here. You know, a simple $1 or $2 from every person is going to be like
Insane.
Yeah. And man, honestly, if anyone here deserves like something nice, like those guys drove no heater, no
in the
nothing,
rain,
in the snow. They were in like, they said it was like minus.
Yeah.
At some point, like they've been on studded tires, and they had all their stuff stolen as well.
Yeah.
They had all their camera gear stolen as well. Like they've just, and it's nothing wrong. They're really good people.
Yeah.
They don't deserve it.
So anyway, thank you guys in advance.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to be driving anymore today. there's been some arguments with the track because of not having proper like safety and
Or any at all.
That's another subject I'd rather not take away from the focus of what we were trying to get across, but the chance of driving more is slim, so we're just kind of looking over the cars and making sure they're safe to drive back.
Well, we used all our extinguishers as well. We used all of our extinguishers out of our own cars to try and get that fire out, and we got none left now, and the last thing we want to do is risk another fire, potential fire. As unlikely as they are in drifting, they happen. So be smart, guys. Put extinguishers in your car. They don't cost much.
For sure.
And if you've got a race car, for God's sake, put a suppression kit in it. Suppression kits don't cost that much these days, and like if you're investing tens of thousands of dollars in a race car, put a suppression kit in it. It's like $1,000 to save literally everything.
Yep.
So, thanks, guys.
Yeah. I think I did it on a mic.
Oh no.
I was trying to use the whole track.
All you used all of the track.
You heard of the bro line? This is the no line. Yikes.
Oh man.
Oh boy. I bet VR Wheels is another barrel, probably, hopefully. Rip. So Luke essentially has no ball joint in his rear lower control arms right now. He knows that it's so unsafe that he actually requested that me and Mike take his wife and kids because his car is that dangerous to drive, but he insists on driving with that and flat spotted wire showing fronts because Australia.